Hello YouTubers, been a while since we uploaded anything. We've had a lot of repairs in the house to do, but today I'm interested in talking about the S Dec, which is what one of these is, 1960s, and they were the first I think they might have been the first solderless breadboard. So it's a shame they don't make them anymore. Great shame. Obviously they've got these ones now, but when I'm developing a circuit or trying to sort one out, I tend to, or even building a circuit that is in a book or something, I always resort to those because I just find them a lot easier. So of course one of the things about making life easier is, because I'm 71 now, I've got to learn how to be an old person, so practicing yang yang yang. Things are much more expensive than they used to be. So of course at one end you've got the fairly old people like me, right? And then you've got the young people that might be interested in adopting electronics as a hobby. Now it's they're a lot easier to use than the other ones, and I find that sometimes I put the wires in the wrong hole, which ain't much fun. But something else I do to make it easier is to use transistors. This is a BC548, and I've attached a long wire to it, so I know it's a roundabout thing to do, but I just find it much easier to do things that way. So pop the old wires straight in like that, and there you go. So for this video I actually took one apart. Now one of the problems is that's the base of it, and bits keep falling off of the end of the wires and they accumulate under here, which can be a bit of a pain. So this one I've kind of taken apart for the benefit of this movie, so that actually sits inside there. And how they work is let's put these transistors away. So I've actually got a collection of what I call, where are we? There we are. Long wire transistors, where I've actually gone and soldered the transistor, usually like that, with the tiny leads like this. I've got about 1,000 of these things, and I've attached longer wires to them. I mean, in the 1960s it would never have been a problem, because most transistors typically had wires like these attached. This is AC128 germanium, and obviously with these on you can't do anything, but where are we? There we go. It was much easier to learn analog or even digital electronics back in the 1960s, because everything was much simpler. So you could easily build up a circuit using these. Sorry about the front hoof. These go in like that. See? Just like that. Of course they had longer wires in those days. Anyway, I've looked around I typed in a search, transistors with long wires on them, and they're not done anymore. It's not something that's done. So this here is one of them that was like on its way out sort of thing, and I had to repair it because when I popped the wires in they weren't making a connection, so I decided to investigate. So we've got these leaf springs here, this is one of them. This is one of the leaf springs. It's a little bit, got to straighten it out a bit. And we should actually try putting a wire in and seeing how the thing works. Where are we? There we go. This is the problem. I'm trying to keep an eye on my camera phone. So of course this is a typical one of these solid wire, and you would, in those days, you would poke that in there, and let's hope if it can be seen, it grips hold of the cable. Now one of the problems is if you've got a nasty end or a bit of solder on the end, it will cause damage to the leaf spring on the way out, so you'd have to be very careful. But I'm trying to get into the habit of using these more common types that are available nowadays, and that's one of the problems with the older version of an S Dec like this, is that you can't use it with chips very easily. But I've found a way that it can be used with 8-pin deal chips like this one. So again, I've gone and extended the wires on this occasion, a socket, a deal 8-pin deal socket, 8-pin dual inline socket. Where are we? So I'm just straightening out these wires. So of course S Dec, the company, they did actually bring out a version of that can be used for ICs called the T Dec. But these, I think, were the original. So of course, when I'm doing something with chips and I don't want to strain my eyes and I want an easy time having it as a pleasurable subject rather than something really difficult to do, I use these S Decs. So of course right now I'm finding a way of connecting an 8-pin deal chip socket with this S Dec, which is primarily meant for discrete transistors with long leads. I've got long leads. So then I shall pop, what's this thing? TDA7052. That's a 1 watt amp chip, bridge connected. So then I would connect that there like this. I've done loads of circuits like this using this method, using an S Dec with chips. Now obviously these can't be bought anymore, but there's me trying to perhaps maybe a Chinese company, or I often get these PCB Way, sponsored by PCB Way. Yeah, great. I mean, you know, if you've got a circuit in mind and you're quite advanced and you want to have a run of, say, I don't know, 100 ICs, I don't know. But if I'm sure it's a minority thing. If PCB Way, who say they obviously do PC printed circuit boards, that's fine, but they also do what is it? Fabrication of all sorts, don't they? They boast that they can fabricate things. So, from the point of view of like appeasing the older generation or extreme beginners, if this company PCB Way could buy one of these, they are very quite rare. Figure out how it was made. I mean, obviously there are there's probably some copyright or patent that they might infringe, but it's just a question of having one of these things on a bigger scale. I mean, I'd send them one of these just so they can figure out how to make it, but I'm sure that I'm in the minority of people that would like to build on the S Dec 1960s. Also, with this S Dec, you just get one of them, but I've got 5, I think, altogether. But in those days, you'd get a book like this. Now, I'm sure that nobody would mind you copying these. I mean, they're actually on my website, geeky stuff, www.hoof hoofbags.co.uk. That's right, yeah. So of course there's the electronic flasher. So I might actually have a go at building some of these circuits. That'd be an interesting one to try. There's the binary counter. Now I want to do a project on that because that will show how many. Right, look. Let's think. If you had 5 or 6, if you had 4 of them, you can build a binary adder. I think it's called. It counts up to 16. 15. F in. What's F? What's 15 in F? F in, right, 15 in hexadecimal is F. There we go. 3-stage amplifier. Now on my website, website as well as YouTube channel, I've actually used this as a like a practice amp for people that want a not very loud amplifier just to practice guitar with. The only problem with it, unfortunately, is the high impedance speakers are a bit rare these days. That's this 80 ohms, right? You can get 64 ohms, but the problem with the circuit, unfortunately, is that the voice coil burns out. So this circuit is great for demonstrating stuff, but unfortunately, it won't live for very long unless you're lucky. Of course, getting these old transistors would be a bit of a challenge as well. OC81, OC71, OC44, probably about, I think they're about £11 to £18 each now. They're quite expensive. This one is a Morse code practice oscillator. I mean, yeah, I suppose I could build that. And that is the how to make a coil. You'd pick up your tuning coil for the radio that comes on another page. Radio receiver. Now that is, I've actually put all of my circuits on my website and a couple of pictures of the S Dec as well. But there's nothing in the UK that's transmitting on medium wave anymore. Medium wave is, what is it? I think it's about 550 kilohertz to 1.6 megahertz. A VHF radio microphone. Unfortunately, got a bit of stain there. That's why I often get called stain. AC128. Yeah, I guess so. You can send messages. You can speak to your radio in VHF. Next page. Let's have a look at the next one. Right, this is a light operated switch. So, well, the RP12, which is a photoresistor. I think the idea is you shine it in there and then the light comes on. These little tabs on the corners, right? This one's broken off, but they kind of interface a bit like those Sugar Puffs little men that clip together. But thing about separating them is an absolute pain. The next page. That is what's it called? It's also known as a phase shift oscillator. So of course these just one transistor, and you set this knob so a potentiometer, I mean, so it starts oscillating. But you'll actually got to use this is a chain of resistors, LR chain, to change the phase, because obviously if you feed a signal from the the collector straight into the base, nothing will happen. So it's called a phase shift oscillator. It's also known as CR oscillator. We've got a Wean network oscillator, which is the idea of that is you get a good sine wave. I think that's the purpose of it. And then you've got on the back, using S Dec. This is ancient stuff. I mean, look at the state of this. Was donated to me by somebody who was coming to the end of their lives, unfortunately. There's actually something about him, Jim Turner, and he was a very intelligent person, but of course you wouldn't get that from a lot of people. Thought he was a bit of an idiot, but this is one of the things about electronics people, is that, you know, you might sort of build like a little sort of one stage, like an amplifier like that, right? And then what'll happen, someone else will say, oh, what are you bothering with that for? You can just buy one that's already made for about a £5. Defeats the object. So what I might do is have a go at building one of these little circuits, perhaps the electronic flasher, if I can find all the components, which I probably can. This one here. Okay, got all the components. That's what it's asking for in the book. It's asking for 6 volts, 6 volt at 100 milliamps. Well, I've got these bulbs are 6 volt at 60 milliamps. So I'm bending the rules a little bit. Both of these are the same. We've got 2 OC81s. There we go. That's the way round. Where are we? Yeah, OC81. Have another Mullard OC81. Go back to the book. Right, we need two 100 microfarad capacitors. That's that one there. And 3K9 resistor. Now this is the electronic flasher that I'm building, okay, as it would have been in the 1960s, okay. And of course there's also a link needed. There's a link, and that's the S Dec there, and that. Okay, so let's start with the bulbs. The bulbs say I've got to go in at number 5 and number 10. That's 5. Number 5. No, that's 6. Number 5 and number 10. There we go. Let's not do the front hoof issue, because I could probably get a bit better right, we've got the other bulb there. That goes in 3126. 31, which is there. 31 and 26. Hangs off the edge. We have an OC81 that connects to, that's the OC81 that connects to, they go in, right, one of them goes in 713. So the collector, which is the little white dot there, the collector goes in number 7. Goes in number 7. And the 7, 12 and 17. 7, 12 and 17. There we go. Losing it. 7, 12 and 17. Just like that. Okay. Okay, we've got the other OC81, which goes in 29, 19 and 24. That's 29 there. 29 there. 19. Let's get it, make sure it's the right way round. So we've got the collector, which is marked by the dots or the spacing, connects to 29. Here we go. 29. That goes 29. Where's that go? Goes there. Okay, 29. 24 and 19. That's 24, 29, 24 and 19. Okay. That's that done. Right, so we also got 100 microfarad capacitors. I mean, we're fortunate. These were bought from a lady at a boot fair. I'm trying to remember. Tansley? A lady called Tansley. I think it might have been Sue Tansley. I'm not sure. But she used to do great components, old-fashioned components at a good price. So this is 100 microfarads and it's polarized. So the positive side goes into into hole 15. There we go. That one's there, like that. It's the positive side. And the other end of that, 15, goes into 30. 15 and 30. There we go, like that. Okay, what goes next? And we've got the other capacitor, which goes in to 24. 24. Where that is? 21, 22, 23. There's already one in 24. 12. It doesn't go in 20. Oh, it goes in 21. So sorry. 21 to me not looking properly. 21. There we go. And that's the positive goes into 21. And the other end, the negative, goes into 6. Which is that one there. Which is that one there. Okay, there we are. That's the progress so far. And we have 3.9k resistors. One of them is full, they're both the same, so it's not a problem. Number 4 and 14, and they're not polarized, of course. Number 4 and pin 14. That goes there, like that. And we have the other 3.9k or 3k9, which goes in 32 and 22. Where's 32? 32, 32, 32, 32 and 22. Right, we also have a link, and I cut that to the correct size, the little blue wire, and the link is that one there, 3 and 33. That's 3 there. And Where's 33? Right at the bottom. Trying to use pliers because I don't want a front hoof in the way. 33. There we go. Just like that. Okay. So it's only ever using up the half of the actual breadboard. Now we also have, I've manufactured these because normally if you were like buying an S Dec in the 1960s, you would probably buy something like a PP9 to run it. So the actual powers go in, so I've got number 1, so we can have that one there, an input to the battery. I'm using a power supply that's 9 volts. So the other one is, what does it say? 16, I think it says 16, which is right there. Number 16 goes in there like that. Now I've already set my power supply unit, which is that there. Used it before on my previous occasion when I built a transformer coupled amplifier. Some of my more devoted viewers or aficionados, is that someone who likes my stuff, you know, might have seen it before. So I'm going to connect, it says here, it's telling me to connect positive to number 16, which is there, red, and these are right. So the red one goes to number 16, and the black one, which is negative, goes to pin 1. Isn't that lovely? Let's turn the light off. I'll let that flash for a bit. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Anyway, I'm feeling nostalgic and I love these S Decs. They're just great. I love them. I just wish it was like, well, you know, everything was more expensive. Nothing was as expensive as it used to be. I mean, no, the other way round. Everything's so expensive. You go into the shops and everything, it costs more. Yeah, but your wages has gone up more, innit? That's the difference. Can't you figure it out? I did everything's expensive. Well, anyway, because we've got high taxation and various other things to moan about, you know, all the rest of it. But this is what you do. You have to go and things aren't as you know. Everything was much. Oh yeah, the other one was. I mean, literally, this is the case where I live. Well, when I first came around here, it was all fields, and that is a fact. That's not fantasy. That is actually what happened. Okay, well, look, anyone who's following my little S Dec adventures, there we go. S Dec projects, okay. I hope anyone like watching it will find it interesting and stuff. And thank you for watching. That's it.